Hello, how are we?
Hi, how are you?
We're
I
good,
am
thank you.
doing great. I'm loving season two of Rutherford Falls.
Yay.
So my first question, is for Michael. Terry is always a man on a mission. Can you talk about the mission this season in the wake of political shifts at Rutherford Falls?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Was such a joy to play his journey in season two. I think with season one, we established so much, foundational work, about what he aspired to, how he reacts. What's so brilliant about season two is the adversity he faces. He, of course, bets on the America brand right when America trips itself and then sets itself on fire. Um, and to see him, react to that adversity, and to show vulnerability and to show confusion. There's a line where he's like, I've never said this before, but I think I've made a mistake. He's really humanizing, and I love how they've destabilized him, and it allows me as an actor, these glorious, glorious moments.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Sierra, okay, first off, I loved Josh and Regan last season and
Nice.
them trying to be friends this season. Very cute. But just in general, I love that we get to see Regan in romance, exploring the possibility of romance throughout the show. How do you approach her as a leading lady love interest in the creation of the show?
Oh, for sure. Well, I grew up loving rom-coms. I loved Nora Ephron and Nancy Meyers, and the one thing you don't often see in those movies, unfortunately, is a lot of diversity. But I always saw myself, a la Mindy Kaling, as that like brown leading lady that should be in those movies. And so with Regan's character, giving her those sort of different romantic moments, and I've always wanted to do like a Native American screwball romance, rom-com where they hate each other and then they, love each other, and tracking that. And with Dallas Goldtooth coming in as playing Nelson, it's been so lovely to watch that sort of Native romance flourish. I think in a lot of Native films, when a romance is depicted, it's like very tragic. One of them has, a lot of trauma, and it's very independent, gritty film. And I'm just like, maybe they meet at a coffee shop and like have a meet cute. And so kind of watching how to do that with the specificity of an authentic Native story was just a really exciting endeavor for us. And we just and once you have these great comedy characters, in the same way when we found Kimberly Guerrero, who plays Terry's wife, Renee, their dynamic was so fun in the Terry Thomas episode. We were like, we have to bring them back. We have to see what that marriage is like. And it's just really exciting to kind of grow and show those relationships.
Absolutely. I really loved the evolution of her romance in this season too, because like you said, it started off so unexpected. I wouldn't, so, but speaking of unexpected, Terry and Nathan have like evolved in their dynamic this season. Can you talk about working with Ed and how they kind of like have to like see eye to eye to some degree this year?
Yes, absolutely. There was an adversarial relationship between Nathan and Terry in season one that I think helped focus some of the macro storytelling that was happening. But what's so great about season two is, of course, Nathan falls hard at the end of season one and is brought low. With Terry's difficulties in turning the town into ye old Rutherford Village, he and Nathan sort of like kind of end up sort of in the same middle ground, and it's much easier to find kinship and brotherhood in moments when you're in a foxhole getting shot at than you can when you're on other sides of a river. So I think that and it's such a brilliant actor that I love those moments for these two characters this season.
Wonderful. And then finally, Sierra, I know that you had previously said that there weren't enough or you were told there weren't enough Indigenous writers or talent, but then you saw how obviously that was not the case. How have you felt working in that room and with these people for season two? How has like that grown or evolved for you?
I mean, I love our writers' room so much. You know, we had a couple of writers who had to leave, and we replaced them with a couple of new Native writers. And it's just everyone's working. It was harder this year to find Native directors and Native. It would be like, oh, well, they're doing this show, but then they're also doing this show, but we can fit you in here. And it was such an exciting time because everyone was booked and blessed. And it just really becomes this thing. And now we're pulling in, I feel like, so many new writers. We're finding so many different writers from different communities and bringing them in. And it's just a really exciting time to be telling these stories in this way.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both so much. I love Rutherford Falls. I cannot wait for everyone else to love season 2.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great
really
day.
Appreciate it.